Ini era baru, perdamaian dan kesejahteraan.
Hi, this is Johnny Moore, the founder of the Kairos Company, president of the Congress of Christian Leaders. But what was amazing is that despite the fact that so few people were able to visit Israel this year, we watched all around the world as the Christian community, the evangelical community, began to raise their voice in the middle of the conflict earlier this year. It was an extraordinary experience to see that the Christian community not only was passionate about the security of the state of Israel, but was educated on all of the issues. We've taken for granted this amazing time that we're living in, where for centuries you would consider it almost the parting of the Red Sea for a friendship between the Jewish people and between the Christian community around the world. Centuries of anti-Semitism, centuries of conflict between the communities, centuries of harm. And yet now, 80 million evangelicals in the United States, 800 million evangelicals around the world are the great firewall against anti-Semitism. We are living in the golden age of Jewish-Christian friendship, where many Christians like me wake up multiple times a day with Israel on my heart and on my mind. And I think one of the things that we can do as friends of Israel and as friends of the Jewish people is that we can continue not only to tell our stories related to the spiritual significance of that land, of the land of the Bible as it is, but the rest of the stories of the state of Israel. You know, we have the opportunity to talk about the great humanitarian efforts all around the world, where Israel is literally saving lives every single day in ways that they hardly get any credit for it. We can talk about the fact that so many of our technological innovations of our time, inside our cell phones, in our computers, the great innovations in the world are innovations that have been forged in Israel's Silicon Valley. It's so important that in this new age of peace, and the product of the Abraham Accords, where now the majority, I mean, stop and think about this. The majority of Arab people in the world now, the vast majority, are living in a country at peace with the state of Israel. It's not only the golden age of Jewish-Christian friendship, it is a new era of peace and prosperity across the entire region. And as people who sincerely held religious beliefs have pointed our eyes to the state of Israel, I want to encourage all of us to tell all of the stories, to talk about Israel's tech sector, to talk about the peacemaking that takes place in that extraordinary land, for all of us to do our part. And so it's my pleasure as a millennial evangelical, as the next generation of Christian leaders emerging all around the world, Christian friends of Israel, to extend my greetings to so many of my Christian friends. Their greetings, as is often said in a different context, next year in Jerusalem, I can't wait. And with great optimism that what's coming in the coming year will be even more extraordinary than what we've seen in the previous ones. But it's up to all of us. We have to decide to make the future. And one of the things that we can all do, we can tell the rest of the stories. And we can make sure that those stories reach a new generation of Christians all around the world. And our friendship, our match, is a match made in heaven.
Salam damai dari Fakta Israel.